Hello children. Today we are going to learn history lesson number 1, when, where and how. History is a study of the past. This is facilitated by dividing the past into blocks of time. This is called periodization and helps in the study and analysis of history. Indian history can be divided into 3 periods: ancient, medieval and modern. Our focus is on medieval history. Each period is characterized by numerous changes and developments. Developments took place in the field of religion. A new religion, Islam, made an advent in India. Hinduism also underwent numerous changes. New deities were worshipped. Also, the Hindu kings considered it their religious duty to construct temples and constructed many temples. The caste system continued. It was during this period that the Bhakti and Sufi movements began, which stressed on love and devotion to God. How geography affects history? The geography has a profound effect on the history. People and their actions cannot be understood without taking into consideration the land where they live. The geographical conditions influence the economic and social development of the people. The Indian subcontinent has been clearly segregated by the nature. It is a peninsula and it is bounded by the ocean on 3 sides. In the north are the great mountain systems which separate it from rest of the Asia. The high mountain passes allowed the Aryans to enter India and the Arab traders to trade with India since 712 CE. But in 1001 CE, the Arab armies came to invade the Indian territory through the Khyber Pass. Later, the Huns, Turks, and Mughals invaded India. Each invasion brought in foreigners who brought with them their customs and culture and had an impact on the Indian culture. Also, these passes allowed links with China and Tibet, and Buddhism spread to these 2 countries. India's 2 great river systems, the Indus and the Gangas, have also played a role in shaping the history. The Harappa civilization came up near the river Indus. The Himalayas have helped the northern plains to become more fertile by bringing enough rainfall. The cities came up where there were geographical advantages. The great cities like Prayag and Kannauj came up in the northern plains. Many wars were fought between kings to acquire the fertile lands near rivers. Towards the south of the northern plains lie the Vindhya mountains. This prevented the invaders from getting access to the Deccan Plateau, which lies towards the south of these mountains. New and old terminologies. In ancient times, India was known as Aryavarta, or the land of the Aryans. In Buddhist texts, it is called Jambudvipa, meaning the island of rose apple tree. Later, it was called Bharatvarsha, after the king Bharat, a powerful king who ruled during the period. India was also referred to as Hindustan. This is a Persian word meaning land of the Hindus. River Indus was called Sindhu and the Persians pronounced it as Hindu. During the times of Persian invasion, the region came up to be known as Hindustan and the inhabitants as Hindus. However, the term Hindustan was first used by Minhaj-e-Siraj, a Persian writer. According to him, Hindustan included northern India only. Today, the term is applied to India as a whole and sometimes to refer to the Hindi-speaking part of the country. Sources of the medieval period. There are two kinds of sources which give information to reconstruct the past. These are archaeological and literary sources. Archaeological sources. These include ancient buildings, coins, paintings, inscriptions, sculptures, and any other artifacts. Monuments. Many monuments were built during this period. This tells us about the architecture skills of that time. The material used gives an idea about the craftsmanship and mining. Numerous temples and mosques exhibit the skills and the religious beliefs of the people. Paintings. Most medieval kings were patrons of art. Many styles of paintings flourished. Many paintings depict the rulers themselves and the court life of the time. These paintings are like the binoculars through which we can see the medieval period. For example, the Tanjore paintings of the south depict Lord Krishna and Lord Shiva. The Mughal rulers patronized paintings. The art developed as well as prospered under the rule of Mughal emperors. The painting style that developed was a combination of Indian, Persian, and Islamic styles. Sculptures. The medieval period of India witnessed a wide variety of sculptures. Stone and metal both were used. The indigenous style was deeply impacted by foreign style. The Cholas were great patrons of sculptures, and during their region, many temples were built with intricate sculptures. Inscriptions. Epigraphy is the study of inscriptions. These are a very reliable source. These are engraved on stone tablets, metal plates, pillars, etc. Some inscriptions give detailed accounts about the political and religious activities of that time. Others are official or historical. Many inscriptions have been found which tell us about the region of the Cholas. The Uttara Merur inscription is an example. Coins. Coins give useful information about a kingdom. The material used tell us about the economic condition of the kingdom and information of dates during which the particular kings ruled. We also get information about rulers and their relations with other empires. Literary sources. There is no dearth of literary sources as paper was first used in India during this period. Slowly, the use of paper increased and it became easily available and was widely used by scribes and the chroniclers who wrote by hand since printing had not been invented. These were called manuscripts and give us detailed information of the medieval period. These manuscripts were kept in temples. They form the archives. These manuscripts provide detailed information, but they are not without limitations. Manuscripts were copied by hand, and due to copying errors, the latest version was sometimes quite different from the original. Thank you.